Wish me a lot, bro. It's a blessing to be here.
Nah, for sure. Thank you for coming, by the way. I'm gonna keep saying that, but thank you for coming.
I mean, gratitude is important.
All right, what it is, what's up? It's your boy Lahore Lee, aka Laheezy, and I got a very special guest here with me today. We met not too long ago. Shout out to another brother that was on the podcast that kind of recommended, introduced us actually, and then like 10 seconds after talking to him, I know we had to have him on the we had to have him on the podcast. But he's the founder of Drive Forward Academy. Yep. This man is in the gym like crazy, which we do that. Just inspiring all around, man. But I think he'll do a better job introducing himself.
Multifaceted,
Thank you for coming through.
Thank you, man.
Introduce yourself to the people, man.
Yeah, for those who don't know, my name is Saddiq Ali. Entrepreneur, multifaceted, talented. Been an entrepreneur since I was the age of 15.
Okay.
Legitimately, I've tried every hustle, every industry, never wavered. Full of confidence, ready to go get it, not taking no for an answer.
That's what's
the epitome of a black man.
Ooh, I love that. All right, before we get into deep, this is a surprise question. First thing that I like to do is I like to shout out somebody.
Let's get it.
Just give somebody their flowers. And so somebody that just, the first person that comes to your mind, who is somebody that you want to shout out, that you feel like just genuinely been leveling up, man? Somebody that you want to shout out.
Damn, so many brothers out there that's just leveling up.
Okay.
I might just go down the list.
Ooh.
Shout out to my brother Jamie in Texas, developing houses, fixing and flipping, doing it. Shout out to my brother Kawado in Atlanta, Georgia, fixing, flipping, entrepreneur, music mogul. Shout out to my brother Jigga, another guy who's just doing it. There's so many guys. My guy Mike Marcus, JR, Junior Porter.
JP, shout out JP. Man.
These are all guys that I got 10 plus year friendships with who inspire me on a daily. They set the tone. So, it's a mutual respect. It's a mutual respect there for a lot of those guys. So.
That's dope. For me, shout out all them brothers you just shouted out as well. But there's one particular brother I want to shout out. I was even amazed with the brother even after we did the episode. So shout out to Shaq, man. Shaq, it's one thing to have a conversation with somebody and see them leveling up, but it's another to like actually be in the presence of them leveling up. So I told you I was gonna go running with Shaq, and I did it.
Shout out to you. I see.
And I went to hang out with the Bronx Burners, and they do not play, bro. They do not play. We ran something called 800. So I guess you run the thing 4 times, and then you take a break, and then you run it 4 times. So he's like, "Oh, we gonna run 4 times." I was like, "All right, cool." We ran 4 times. He said, "Oh, we doing this 3 more times." I was like, "Oh, we are." And shout out to Shaq, man. Shout out to Shaq.
Yeah, them some good brothers over there. I know them, so
that's what's
shout
up.
out to you for going over there and do it.
Nah, man, for sure. I might have to come with you in the truck one time too. You know what I'm saying?
We could do a lot, man. I could run too.
I heard he's a marathon runner, man.
Marathons, couple halves, running some this year. So
Shaq is trying to make me run the Bronx one, which is crazy, but
why not?
That's a conversation for another day, though.
But
let's get into this, man.
Yeah, let's get it.
So just tell me a little bit about how you got into the whole trucking industry, man. Was it something you always planned on doing? Was it something that kind of just fell into your lap?
It's God's plan, man. God got a funny way of navigating you and directing you to what your purpose could be, right? But it's tough for me to say how I got into the trucking without telling you the origin of the story, in terms of like how I became an entrepreneur, just the relentlessness to want to be my own boss. That started at a young age, right? Just selling candy in high school, having people, sell candy for me though. And having a composition book where I had my P&L statements and what I was spending expenses and what I was getting at the end of the week.
Beautiful.
I was doing that early. I just didn't know what I was doing. You see what I'm saying? So just the hustle mentality has always been there. But when it comes to the trucking, I owned a gym in the Bronx during the pandemic.
Hey, don't say that lightly, bro.
I mean, okay, so
like that's just a segue. That's a whole business in itself.
Nah,
bro.
For
that's
sure.
Beautiful.
I mean, it's important. If you know me, you know that health and wellness was the first space that I was in. That's where I built the muscle, so to say, in my entrepreneurial palette, right? So navigating health and wellness, I mean, I was selling T-shirts out my, fitness apparel out my trunk of my car at 18, 19 years old while being a full-time college student, while working a 9 to 5, right? So, I trained clients when I was getting $20 an hour, and then I made my way up to getting $250 an hour, right? So that was the bread and butter, everything I did from the age of 18 to 27, and I'm still coaching people. I still online coach, right?
Wow.
But it's not the main thing I do, right? But as I breezed over the last point is I had a gym during the pandemic, doing risky business in it, so to say, right? So had the gym, we had tenant windows up, the world was shut down. I took a risk, took on a lease, I had a game plan, and
pandemic hit.
Pandemic hit, but it didn't affect me. I kept my gym open. I just had a COVID compliance plan in place where I would rotate 10 people every hour.
Wow.
Right? And then, like I said, I had the windows tinted so police couldn't see inside.
Okay.
So
hey, that's that selling candy in school, don't get caught.
Yeah, exactly, right?
No, that's where it come from.
Where we come from, we know how to navigate and adapt, right?
That's what sometimes, like, the beauty of coming from where we come from, the obstacles that we had to come from, it's just things you can't learn in school, bro.
No, you can't.
You can't. It's like you can only learn that in real life experience. Having to duck security guards in high school, that's how you learn how to. Oh, okay, like
yeah,
bro.
Yeah. So being adaptable in that situation, like I said, I had the gym. I was doing pretty well, and I seen one of the guys I was cool with at the time. He came to me with an opportunity. And I'm like, what is this about? Because, I had saved up quite a few dollars and was looking to invest in some stuff, and I just didn't know what that next thing was. But I knew fitness. I was easing my way out of the fitness industry because I seen where it was going, and I knew the resources that would be needed to get that going. That's not to say that I couldn't do that.
And that's, not to cut you off, but that's a beautiful skill to learn, too, and understand. And it's crazy because I learned that I just learned that in life, like, you got to learn when to pivot, right?
Yeah.
And essentially, that's what it is that you're doing.
Yeah.
But sometimes in order to pivot into something else, you got to have the skills. And a lot of times, the resources, which is money a lot of times, you're not going to have a certain conversation with somebody unless they know you in a certain tax bracket, bro. I'm sorry.
That's a fact.
You're not, because if you don't know how to deal with $100,000, you're not about to have a conversation with me about $100,000. No. Even if I don't know your overall scale of money, I need to know, okay, like, if I come into your gym, this is my gym, this is what I do. Okay, I know that this gym is in this area, so from just like regular knowledge, you could know, like, all right, this man got to be making at least this much to do this, so then I could present you with an opportunity, so.
And that's what it is. I mean, also, you talked about pivoting. Being able to pivot means letting go of something, too. Something that you probably put a lot of time into.
Yeah.
Right? But also, I'll say the second thing is, when you working as an entrepreneur, you could be in any facet of life, right? If you compound in the years, there's somebody watching that see you putting that work in, that see you hustling. At some point, they become a commodity to what you want to do. They might be your first investors.
Absolutely.
Right? So you might think people not watching you. So I say this is a message. You might think people not watching you.
They watch.
It's always somebody watching you. It's always somebody see you showing up to the gym, see you hustling, see you selling, see you. And then that right there, that builds your credibility.
That's beautiful, man. But also want to just highlight something else that you said.
Yeah.
That's that hustle, and that's where it come from.
Mm-hmm.
He said he pivoted, but he still do online coaching on the side.
That's a fact.
So that's just a matter of the knowledge that he acquired that can still make him money, but it doesn't take up a lot of his time. And that right there is the true hustle. Because the money you make from that, you could literally be like, okay, like, that's just money I throw into the little stock market or whatever the case is. That's how you keep going. Because then the next opportunity coming, you need to pivot. Oh, I got to buy another truck. Okay, I know that's there.
Yeah.
So
it's the compound.
I love that you said that.
It's the compound effect. You don't gotta fully let go of something to move on to the next thing. You stack all of the things you've learned, all of the talents you've created, the gifts, right? That God given you. You just compound it. Pay off later.
Beautiful, man. So I know we kind of touched on this already, but so on here we described the level up into 3 stages. So you got the dream, you got the plan, and you got the execution. I mean, I want you to kind of dive a little bit more deeper, just specifically onto like the trucking, what the dream was and how you planned it. And then from how you planned it to literally how you executed, bought your first truck or whatever the case is.
I mean, the first project I started, the dream was always to have a bunch of trucks at first. But then when you get in the industry, you start to really learn what logistics consist of. It start to you start to pivot a little bit. You start to get different variations of visions that you might see for your company, how to acquire those assets, how to go about getting the funding, the lending, right? And whatever resources is out there allotted to you. So starting out, it was just about getting trucks because that's all I knew about, right? But then when I got into my second project, Trace Coalition, it's a broader scheme, and it's really a lot of diligence required because it's a slow build. In trucking, you don't ever want to over leverage, right? You don't want to get too top heavy.
And
right?
I've seen people in the pandemic that did that. That's why I'm surprised, because people during the pandemic, I seen they put credit on like the box trucks. They put like 3, 4, 5 credits on the box trucks, and then as soon as things slow down, you can't maintain those. You gotta let them go. So
you still got the credit cards, you still got the truck notes, the insurances, you still got all these different permits that got to be renewed. So I tell people trucking is a hot commodity. There's a lot of revenue that could come in, but just as fast as it comes in, it goes out, right? And in my first business, I got top heavy and I failed. I learned from the failures. I ain't waver. I say, look, I'm gonna come back, approach it from a different angle. And I'm gonna take my time with it, right? So the goal now is, simply put, the scale of 10 million. It's the scale of 10 million. It's to do it slow. I like to break my life up in increments of 10 years.
Okay.
Right. So it's a 10-year plan. Then the next 10-year plan. So what I'm doing from 30 to 40 is gonna be different from 40 to 50.
You hear about that planning, man.
Exactly.
And then the next thing you just execute, bro.
Yeah.
And so I think this is a perfect time to pivot this conversation into the gym. I actually did not know you own the gym, but I'm like,
I see you in the gym. Man.
Nah, you know what I'm saying?
I see you in the gym.
No, it's not even that. I feel like people don't understand what the gym can do for you, right? It's not about just going there and looking good, but I swear to God, the things that you learn about yourself in the gym, bro.
It's limitless.
Because you see how like you just literally said it's about increments and it's about planning.
Yeah.
I swear to God, bro, the way you plan in the gym, okay, today's chest, today's back, today's this.
Yeah.
And then 2 weeks later, you look in the mirror like, oh, my shoulders are growing.
Yeah, but see, the gym is more than the physical part. It's the mental.
That's what I'm saying.
It's really the mental. Yeah.
You learn incrementation at the gym.
Yep.
You watching, because you can't pay. Well, people pay for their bodies, but
yeah,
it's not the same. It don't look the same anyway.
Same.
But I'm saying, like, you can't, like, it's such a beautiful feeling to know the work you did 3, 4, 5, 6 months ago. Now you're seeing the results. Now. And I promise you, and the other beautiful thing about the gym is when you stop, you're gonna see it too. So you feel me? So I want you to kind of pivot into that. I know you're really like big on the gym. So how do you maintain a schedule, and how important is it to maintain a schedule while still working? Enthusiast said he worked like 30 hours and he came on a podcast.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that.
Fresh
so
off
how do you
30.
how do you do that, bro? How do you still make time for the gym?
I'm gonna tell people, stop looking for balance. It's not real. It's not real. You never gonna be 100% in everything that you do. At so long I was beating myself up about, man, I ain't hit the gym 5 times this week. Sometimes I might have to get the best out of those 3 sessions. You know what I'm saying? So, it's really just planning it all out. I still plan. I write everything down on Sundays. Sundays I'm meal prepping and I'm planning on my day. Is it my week? Is it gonna be perfect? No, but I know this is the set goal. It's there. It's written down. Once you write something down, it just comes to real life form, right?
Yeah.
So, just writing it down, try to stick to the schedule. Me as an entrepreneur running a multifaceted business on 2 different spectrums, I just try to show up every day and take the same approach. I don't worry about yesterday. Yesterday probably wasn't perfect, but today I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna take the same approach. I'm gonna still try, get all my goals, still try to hit the gym. Might not be the perfect day because I'm lacking sleep.
Yeah.
Might not be as strong today, but understand and gauge where my body is at. But that's it, man. Just don't focus on the balance part of it all. Just stay consistent, because that 30-minute session could go a long way rather than you not going at all.
Yeah, it's probably better than a 30-minute session. 1 hour, 30-minute session somebody else was doing and just scrolling through their phone the whole time.
Yeah.
Because you could also be like, okay, if I only got an hour, I might go high intensive today rather than heavy lifting, where I need more breaks in between.
And that's a big point. Yeah.
So it's like, it's learning how to prioritize.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
It's still a form of balance, but it's understanding you, understanding your body, and how you balance yourself.
That's it. Yeah.
So through this whole journey, what sacrifices do you feel like you've had to make in order to get to where you are today? So rather it be like, oh, it's time with the family, or because working 30 hours, being an entrepreneur, It's not easy.
Yeah.
You told me the other day you might not make it because there's a snowstorm coming, and I had to understand because I understand when somebody called me to do something that's gonna make me money, I gotta go.
Yeah.
So what sacrifices do you feel like you have to make?
I make a lot, man. I don't party, but I'm really just focused on the goals, man. Like, so while somebody might look at that as a sacrifice, I don't technically. But I would say one of the main sacrifices would probably be the time with the family, my mom's, my nana, you know, my brother, my nephew. But other than that, to me, it's no real sacrifice because I'm on my purpose. I'm really on my purpose, right? But I would say just holding out on materialistic wants, understanding that they're not a need, right? You know, I wanted a certain car at some point. I can't get that car right now. I might be able to tangibly be able to afford it, but this might not be the year to get it.
That's the funny thing too. A lot of times when you could tangibly afford something, it's like, all right, $200,000 Ferrari, $200,000 truck.
Exactly.
$200,000 truck.
And that's
that
where
truck
I'm at.
gonna buy me Ferrari 4 times.
Exactly. You want it.
That's So
So I would say that's the biggest sacrifices, you know, not spending even though I got it, you know. Not spending even though I got it.
That's the beauty of it. And I feel like, yo, bro, I'm telling you, when you do got it, you don't want to spend it, especially when you know how hard you had to work and get it. Because if you could buy something, let's say a car, you could buy it cash, right?
Yeah.
You're going to look at that cash 3 times further than getting a loan and then trying to pay that out.
I'd rather just go pay that outright.
When you do got that money, it's like, yo, do I really want to do that? You know?
Yeah. But if you save for it and you work hard for it,
no, absolutely,
it's a little bit better, you know?
Absolutely. All right, so let's pivot into, I mean, something that I see you do publicly a lot is, you know, you have a relationship, and a lot of people don't understand, like I said, you have to make a lot of sacrifices in order to, you know, just time.
Yeah.
And if you have a partner, you have your fiance, that's time is required, especially if you know. So how do you manage that relationship, and how has that relationship helped you in your journey?
All right, first, I'll start with the first part. I manage it because it's never hard to manage something that completely aligns with where you're going. I didn't choose my partner based off where I was at. I chose her where I was going. So she understood. As soon as she came in out the gate, she seen the hustle I was on. She's a hustler herself. You know, she's in her PhD dual program, getting a doctorate, right? So we motivate each other. It's never really hard to manage because when, let's say, you know, I got a thing where I say I do 100-hour weeks, right? I'm working 20 hours a day. If I get 3 hours with my lady, to me, that's a beautiful thing. You see what I'm saying? I know I'm gonna see you tomorrow. We putting out the right energy. We doing God's work. So managing is not hard. You know, women, they need their love. They need that. But as long as I, you know, buy those flowers every Sunday, which I do, as long as I wine and dine her sometimes, right? It don't need to be excessively because quality times come in different forms. It's gonna be all right, right? And the second part, you said, how do I manage it? And then what was the other part?
No, I think I was asking like how important it was to pick the type of partner you picked. Yeah, but I think you kind of
so it's important. You got to find somebody who you align with.
Yeah.
Bottom line, like that's you again, I'm gonna say it again. Date where you going, not where you at. Cause
say it one more time, please. Just one more time.
Date, find a person, find your partner for where you going, not where you at. The person you can say, yo, in 10 years we gonna be here together. Not someone that's gonna be an anchor pulling you down when you trying to barely got your head above water. You can't pour from an empty glass. You see what I'm saying?
So please advise these kids that are 20, 25.
Yeah.
Just like the younger and older, please. Just like advise them on like what qualities. I know you kind of touched on it, but I want you to just hit a little more deeper on that for these young boys, bro.
It's tough because if I'm talking to, and pardon me for cutting you.
Nah, you good.
If I'm talking to my baby brother, right, who's 22, I'm gonna tell him don't worry about the girls. I'm telling you straight up. If you 22, 25, 26, that's your building years. That's where you molding yourself into the man you want to be. Anything else is just gonna be a distraction. You see what I'm saying? So now, unless you sit here and say, well, I want to be married by 25, 28, I'm cool with making 80,000, 100,000, or maybe you in your 20s and you do make a good amount of income, you want to go find your wife and you want to build with that person. Again, get with someone who understand where you at and make sure you on your purpose, your goals is written down, you doing what's needed for you to become the man you need to become. right? Because trying to go attach to somebody who also trying to grow, that's a detriment for failure, right? You're gonna end up bumping your head.
Yeah.
Then you got all type of exchange of physicals and all it just don't make sense, man. It's gonna be a distraction. The best thing you could do in your 20s is just focus on yourself.
Lock in and get
Lock in,
right,
man.
bro.
Lock in. I think the biggest thing I wish I would have did at 25 is focus on myself. Like I was grinding, but let's say you could put out your output is 100%. I was probably putting out 60. I think about that all the time. If I could have just.
And the problem is, you think you putting out 100.
You're not.
I feel like that's the
not.
difference. Like you may think you putting out 100, but you're not, bro. You operating at like 50, 60.
Yeah. And then you get a couple years go by, you see like, man, now I'm operating at 80. I was really at like 50 before.
But then you also start to see the dudes that were operating at a higher level than you, and you start to see the shift.
Yeah. You start to see the separation.
You start to see the shift, and then you start getting all insecure, like, oh damn, like something really, what?
That's a fact.
So let's shift back into the entrepreneurship route, and so I kind of want to touch on how important is it to have the relationship that you have in the business that you do. Like having a relationship with someone like your contractor, I can only imagine what that do for you.
Yeah.
And having a good relationship with that person, or managing the people that you manage, how do you navigate those relationships?
First, from a relationship standpoint, do what you say you're gonna do. It's that simple. Because what the contractors are doing, they're saying, look, we're allotting this amount of loads or money to you. I expect you to fulfill that requirement, duty, right? So fill that duty. So doing what you say you're gonna do, no matter how small, no matter how big. If you fall short, own it. You could curse on this?
Yeah.
Own that shit, right? Take accountability. The best thing you could do is like, hey, pick up the phone before, you about to fall short, pick up the phone. Hey, look, we didn't get that extra load. It wasn't on purpose. Timing, traffic, whatever that looks like, right?
Communicate.
Communicate, right? Communication is a key, man. And then next thing I would say is longevity, like consistently showing up the same way, because you can't build a relationship in 1 month. That contractor is not loyal to you. They become loyal to you after time, because they're like, yo, look, we've been working with Trace Coalition for 3 years, right?
They always deliver.
Yeah, Saddiq he's a good guy. He always shows up. Invoices is there. And then I also would say this, and I told my contractor this holidays. And I'm a Muslim man. I don't celebrate holidays, but that don't mean my company don't celebrate holidays, right? So one thing I did was I send every holiday, I send gift cards. Just a token of appreciation to my contractors.
They remember that stuff.
Target, Dunkin' Donuts, something.
They remember that.
Like, oh, you don't need to do that? Nah, yes, I do. I need to show gratitude because you helped me. You helped put multiple 6 figures in my pocket this year. Yes. Right? So because of you, I can scale. And that's what I want to do. I want to scale. So
and you going to think about me first when them big contracts come.
There you go. So, and then everybody talk, man. Everybody talk. So that contractor knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. So you want to be a household name. You want people to say good things about you. So building that relationship take time, take diligence. And again, it's business, so never take nothing personal. When I first started out, contractor ain't had no loyalty to me. I would go 2-3 days with no loads. You know how it hurt.
Nah, for sure.
That hurt because 2-3 days in the trucking industry is 2,000-3,000 a day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you lose that.
Car gotta be parked.
Truck parked. So
it's not working.
You could be like, damn, why this contractor not reaching out to me? Why they not getting back to me?
You might lose because also like if you have a worker and he's not working,
that's
he's not gonna be happy.
That's a whole nother thing, right? Yeah. But you just gotta make sure that you communicate. You do your due diligence, do what you say you're going to do, man, and show up every day because every day looks different, man. Every day looks different. It take time.
Okay. So how is it, though, managing employees then, you would say? Like, what's something crazy that has happened? Maybe somebody not showing up to work on a snow day, which would be crazy because then you got to drive the truck now.
I got stories for days.
Nah, you gotta give us one. Just one, please.
In the trucking industry,
people need it.
It's funny because you could get into I like to call the rush hiring process.
Okay.
Because you're just trying to fulfill a seat. You're trying to put somebody in that driver's seat. And I fell victim to that early on, right? I wasn't measuring character. Is this person, do they got a family at home? What are they doing this for, right? Because if it's just a quick turnaround for them so they could till they get to the next location, which I'm okay with that, you got to know that. You got to be the cue in on that, right? So I remember this one particular time, and I speed this story up. I hired this guy. We had the same name. My first name, Halim. We had the same name. He was from Newark. I'm from Newark, New Jersey. I felt like we related on that, right? So I put him in a truck. It was a 18-speed manual transmission, so I needed someone who could drive a stick shift. Cool guy. So we literally first night, we get into talking about this and talking about that. He telling me how he got to make this money and do this and do that. I said, all right, cool. So I put him on the asphalt shift that night. So asphalt is when we lay the gravel on the highways. We fill up potholes, right? More state contracts.
More potholes filled.
No, for real, right? So I put him on it. And again, measuring character, measuring temperament.
Yeah. Like,
can this person handle pressure?
Yeah.
Right? And one thing, when you out on that pave, that asphalt got to stay hot. They don't want it cold. So they start cursing at you, right? So your driver's got to be willing to deal with a dude spitting out tobacco saying, what the fuck, who the fuck is this guy? What company is this? So you got to make sure your people know what they doing, right? So he get frustrated, long story short, he get frustrated. He's supposed to get in the back of the dump and spray a chemical there so that the asphalt don't stick to the body. He forgot to do that.
That's cool.
So the asphalt got stuck to the body. So he had to pull over, and now you got to get in the back of that dump and get that asphalt out. So while he doing it, now mind you, I'm in another truck. Yeah. I'm pulling over to help him. While he doing it, like, yo, man, fuck this shit. I ain't got time for this. Like, this hot shit, this, that. I'm like, yo, Halim, I'm saying my own name. Right? Relax, what's going on, right?
Bro,
like, relax. Chill, like, this is part of the job. Yeah. Nah, I ain't got time for all this.
You literally only have time for this.
Dude, I help him clean it out, right? Mind you, he's getting paid, which I don't short pay my driver nothing. I pay direct, sometimes even more. We finished cleaning it out. I'm driving in front of him. He speed past me doing like 80, 90.
On a truck?
On a turnpike. So I'm like, he speeds by me. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? So I beeping the horn like, yo, where you going? Because the exit we supposed to get off is right here. He goes speeding back to the yard. Didn't finish the shift. So now my contract is like, yo, where's the other truck? Dude, when I tell you, I mean, like I said, I got stories for days.
Don't
that's
piss
one
me
of them,
off, bro.
Yeah, that's one of them. So I lost about with that one truck that night about $1,500.
And probably messed up the truck with this shit stuck on the truck.
And I had to get that out. So I had to get an excavator to come scrape it out because it hardened up by the next morning.
You don't got another person to fill that truck, so the contracts that you do got coming in, that's the type of risk you do take when you become an entrepreneur. Yeah. And then, I don't know, last time I saw on Instagram, the truck was like flipped over. I don't know what the hell that was. But the truck was like, the back of the truck was like this. I don't know.
People hitting them curbs too
No, I think he was dumping something, but when he dumped it, I think the truck went back.
It probably went back.
Yeah, you had so many crazy stories you don't even know.
Yeah, there's a lot going on out there. That's, again, you got to hire the right people, man. Somebody with experience too, man. It goes crazy, a long way.
Man. All right, so what piece, basically somebody who's going on this entrepreneurship journey, what piece of advice would you really like just give them?
What piece of advice?
Yeah.
Stay true to your journey, man. Don't waver when things get tough. You know, every mishap, every failure that happens is actually gearing you up for success. But you can't wear your failures on your sleeve to a point where it's a detriment to your outcomes. Trust me, your failures, you remember your failures more than your successes, because the failures you feel at. It's like Patrick Mahomes going to Super Bowl and losing. He gonna feel that loss in the Super Bowl more than the 3 wins he got. And that's the motivation to get back.
Yeah,
the losses is the motivation to get back. So what I'm saying is, don't wear your failures on your sleeve. Don't let your failures define you in a way that's a negative to what you decide to do and how you decide to navigate entrepreneurship. It's always gonna be struggles at every level. You could be doing 10 million, 5 million, 100,000. At each one of those levels, each one of those phases, you're gonna face adversity. Adversity is normal. So you can't crack and fold. Yeah, it's part of the journey. You can't crack and fold when your account is on negative 100, negative whatever.
Yeah.
I used to have this thing when I first started, as long as the wheels is moving, I'm good. You see what I'm saying?
I mean, money
and the same, exactly. And the same goes for as long as I'm breathing, as long as Allah gives me the opportunity to wake up another day and do this, I'm taking that opportunity. You're not telling me I took a loss yesterday. You can't tell me I even took a loss yesterday.
Woke up another day.
Yeah, I woke up another day. I'm not worried about the L from yesterday. I'm worried about the W today. I'm creating new opportunities. So don't wait.
That energy's different, bro, and your mindset gotta be different. It really boils down to that, because it's like you wake up, you got a positive attitude, you're gonna attract positive things.
All the time,
you wake up,
man.
You negative about the world gonna give you negativity, bro.
All the time. I got this thing, man, where I get these moments in a day. Let's say I just told you I'm 36 hours at this point. I have not slept in my bed. This was Wednesday? I can't tell you, right? Last time I know for sure. Last time I slept next to my lady was Sunday night.
Wow.
Right? I got this thing where throughout the day I start chanting to myself.
You
can't
be
mess with me. You can't. I'm him. I do this.
That's that gym shit. Exactly. Because, bro, you don't understand, bro. You have to, bro.
Yeah.
And I talk about this too a lot. Like, especially something I'm on this journey of, just like, as I get older, I'm learning to be more kind to myself.
Absolutely.
Right? Because it's very important. And so I tell Shaq, like, when I'm running, for example, I literally have nothing to say but positive things to myself. So what that creates for me is it makes me want to be in this space of positivity. If I'm nice to myself going to want to go there. And this is good for me. The gym is good for me. So, I don't know, being kind and being positive and being your biggest cheerleader.
Yeah. And you can't complain about the things you asked for.
That's what I said.
You asked for this to be on your plate. You can't complain about how much on your plate. Like, picture me saying, yo, I'm in a truck engine, I don't like this, that, I hate it, da. I asked to be here.
Yeah.
So now I got to make the best of this. Yeah. If I get under 315 in the gym, I can't complain when I unrack it. Oh, pardon me. I can't complain when I unrack it and the shit heavy. I'm saying, I need a spot. I ain't supposed to be. I asked to be here. I put those 3 plates on there.
Remember when you wasn't? Remember when you couldn't do the 3 plates?
Remember when you couldn't do it.
So it's like, at every point of adversity, it should also be followed with gratitude, bro.
Absolutely.
I genuinely believe that.
Absolutely.
And because where you was 10, 15, maybe even 10, 15 minutes ago, you should be grateful, bro.
That's how quick things go, right? Like
I'm
10,
telling
15.
You, bro,
Man.
you just never know, bro.
Absolutely.
You just never know.
Absolutely.
Something that we also have in common is I think we both like to read. So I kind of want to, I want you to touch on, a book that you're reading or a book that you read, or I know you're probably gonna go down the list. So
it's so many
things that have impacted you.
It's so many. I like to go with the common Rich Dad Poor Dad, because that was the first book I was reading at my 9 to 5 after I graduated college. That really took me to a level consciously where I was like, oh, I'm doing this wrong, right? But I'm not gonna go with that book. I would say the book that kind of reinstated my manhood was The Way of a Superior Man by David Dida. And it basically talks about the implementation of masculinity, and then how to also, like as you grow and understand what masculinity is as a man, how to then navigate that while dealing with women and feminine energy, right? So it talks about just the mental fortitude it takes to be a man, how to use your masculine energy in an appealing way, right? How to deal with the feminine, right? How to be quote unquote softer but more appealing to all energies, right? So that book really took me to another level, because if you can't get a grip on your emotional state as a man in this world, especially a black man, then you waver easy. You emotional. We can't walk around anymore. We don't have the luxury to walk around sensitive, emotional, acting out, irate. We can't do that. And that's what I tell the young boys all the time, right? And then now in this current moment, I'm a part of a book club where we're reading The Revolutionary Suicide, Huey P. Newton's story. Shout out to my boy Huey. He was tripping out. I didn't know. I thought Malcolm was a trip. But Huey, shout out to him. Obviously, he started the Black Panther movement, the biggest black revolutionary and black liberation movement. And then also on the business side, I like to read multiple books at once. Yeah. The business side, I'm reading The Lean Startup by Eric Ries. Basically, again, just
reading,
just putting it in. Yeah, just putting it in, downloading information.
A lot of times when you reading, you start implementing these things into your daily without even realizing.
Right away.
Right? So I talk about this a lot.
Yeah.
When I was reading Atomic Habits, I found myself just changing my habits without thinking too much about it. But then I found things in my life just going better and better. Yeah. But I do want to touch on the point where you said, you know, a lot of times as a black dude, you got to walk around looking like you happy when, you know, sometimes you just burning inside. Because sometimes, like, this door of opportunity, people might not want you to walk through it. Yeah. And I've seen it a lot where I'm walking towards an opportunity and people may not want me there, but I'm hello, how you doing? You may not, you know, people be doing passive-aggressive stuff, but you just got to be smiling and, you know.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I've mastered, you know, the 48 Laws of Power, so to say. I read that book about 3-4 times simply because, you know, people like to weaponize the book. I'm not one to weaponize it. Yeah. But I did find like many of the certain laws that align with my personality just innately. Yeah. So, you know, I like to be very even tone. Like, I don't let my highs get me too high, I don't let my lows get me too low. And I'm damn sure not letting nobody alter my mood. Yeah. Like, if you're not family, you ain't kinfolk, blood, I don't really care what you got to say, right? And on a business tip, I'm not taking business personal, right? So when it just comes, like, again, when it comes to being a black man, I just think you got to find those outlets, man. You got to find those outlets that allow you to express yourself, you know, whether it be the gym, whether it be running like your boy Shaq, whether, you know, like I ran my first marathon while my first two businesses, or second and third business, was failing. Wow. Going completely bankrupt. And in order to challenge myself in a different way, the gym wasn't doing it. Yeah. You know, I went from 210 pounds to 185. Wow. I was barely eating. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Taking change out my cup holder to get gallons of gas. That's crazy. Right? So when I said, you know what, I'm going to sign up for a marathon. Yeah. I ran a marathon, to my first marathon in 2021, 2022. Wow. You feel me? Toenails falling on and everything. But when I finished, when I crossed that finish line, motivate me to hey dog, lack of preparation for that first one though. You see what I mean?
How do you prepare your toes?
Lack of preparation for that first one.
What do you gotta do? Like put glue on your nails?
But what I'm saying is crossing that finish line catapulted me to another level. Okay. Not just physically, but mentally. Because I had to prove to myself that, like, okay, God, you challenging me in ways that I ain't never been challenged. I know this is what I want in terms of entrepreneurship, building a business, but I just fell a little short this time. Mm-hmm. Let me challenge myself now. While the ton of adversity is coming at me, I'm gonna throw some more adversity in my path. I'm gonna run a goddamn marathon, and I'm gonna cross it. I don't care if it take me 5 hours or 6 hours, right? Yeah. But it was just a sign for me that I could do anything I could do, or anything I put my mind to, right? So again, finding those outlets. Black men, find your outlet, man. I don't care if it's art, singing, poetry. Just go do it and make time and space for yourself, man.
This other brother, he has this group thing that he does, and he does it once a month. I forgot the name of it. I should definitely remember the name of it, and I would love to have him on one day. But it's like Brothers Breathe or something like that. I'm not too sure what it is.
You talking about my brother?
I forgot his name. I definitely got him.
He got a beard.
Yeah. Man, my son pull-up game is crazy.
I'm so mad that I can't think of my brother's name because I broke bread with him. We ate dinner together. Oh, man.
But it's something like Brothers Breathe, and like once a month they get together. Yeah. They literally sit there. They express.
He on Zoom and all that.
Yeah. Nah, I went to one of the.
I'm gonna connect y'all. I'm usually not good with names. You know him,
no,
though. Okay.
Yeah. Nah, good brother.
I'm usually not good with names.
He know my other brothers at the gym too. So it's like it's a big community of like black men, but it's also a very small community. That's why going back to what you said, character and doing what you say you're gonna do is super important, because if he did business with you, and he did business with you, and they all had bad experiences, then it's going to be hard for you to convince another person to do business with you. But
I met that brother through Abdul, so shout out to Abdul, Project Pond and them. But, you know, again, another good brother, man. Gym guys I met in the gym who I built relationships with.
Another reason why to go to the gym.
I'm telling you.
Serious people go to the gym.
Yeah, man. You about your business. You in that gym. A lot of the guys you see in the gym just got out for working a shift.
Yeah. Bro,
and they not making no excuses.
They not.
You know, you form brotherhoods in the gym, man. You form brother. My greatest friendships came in the gym or on a football field, man.
That's beautiful.
So shout out to working out.
Shout out to the brothers. All right, so I mean, we kind of come to the end of this. I want you to kind of just give your I think I told you to bring a quote that you would like to leave us with, even though you gave us a lot, which we appreciate. But maybe like one of your favorite quotes or something that just kind of come to your mind where.
Oh man, I'm really not good on taking certain quotes from people who actually created quotes. But from just an individual standpoint, I would just say this: we was all put here for a reason. Everybody serves a purpose. The gap between where you want to go and where you at is knowledge and information. You close that gap by obtaining the knowledge and information and then applying it. If you apply everything you learn on a daily basis, even if you got 1% better each day, you're getting better. That's growth. That's compound effect. It don't matter if it take you 1 month, 1 year, or 10 years. You will get to your destination. But you got to believe in it. Your faith got to be intact. You got to believe in God. You got to believe you can actually do these things, right? And I think what's lacking in our community or just in whole in general society right now is people don't believe. You know what I'm saying? And when you lack belief, you don't have no belief system, what are you going to accomplish? What are you really going to truly accomplish when you don't believe in yourself, right? Yeah. So I think the first step is believing in yourself, applying your belief system, seeking the knowledge and information, and then applying everything that you learn on a daily basis, and you will see your life change.
And that comes from reading.
That comes from reading. There you go.
For real. But
people.
Nah, yeah, that's like I said, it's your network, your knowledge, and it's a bunch of things, man. But
the more you know, the more people you know.
I always tell people, you're not about to make $1 million without making a couple people 10,000, 20,000.
That's a fact.
You can't.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's no way. You're not.
Absolutely. And that's what we do. That's what we do in that Drive Forward Academy. Yeah. We helping people make money. I don't care how much money I make. I'm working toward. Look, I'm putting out quality. Yeah. To help people gain something. And if God bless me tenfold, we all want to make money. Then it's a win.
You can't make money without making people money.
Yeah,
it just don't work like that.
You have to fill a void as entrepreneurs, right? Here we go. I know we got to wrap it up. You're an entrepreneur. Figure out what's needed, right? You have to see what people need. Fill that void. If you have a talent in that area, if you have 1 person, 10 people, whatever that looks like, help people. Yeah. And the more you duplicate yourself when you do that, right? So you multiply yourself.
Or you find people that do it better
Exactly.
than you.
You multiply yourself, and then now people can vouch for you. And when people can vouch for you, you get more opportunities. That's why I'm here today, because of my boy JR. You see what I'm saying? Yo, Saddiq, Lahore, that's a good brother.
You gotta, it was literally that. I'm telling you, I walked into the Hugh Capital joints like, what, y'all? Come on, bro. That's why we do this, man. But
that's a fact.
I appreciate you for coming through, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time. I know you're tired.
I'm not tired. Don't put that on me.
My bad.
See, hey, look. Hey, you see?
Don't let people push it on you.
Don't let people project on you.
My bad.
Little do he know, I'm about to go to the gym. What time? It's 5. I promise you. Me and my lady we was talking about earlier, she gonna get off. I'm gonna pick her up. We're gonna go to the gym. We're going to be in the gym tonight.
Someone that align with what you doing.
That's
feel
it.
Me?
Alliance, baby. Alliance.
Alliance, bro.
Man, this was a blessing, man. This was amazing.
Thank you so much, man, for taking the time out your day to pull up on me. I don't think you understand. It mean the world to me. This is my baby. Yeah. But this is also a form of networking for me, man. So thank you so much, man.
We here to level up, man. Thank you.
Sure.
I'm full of gratitude right now, man.
Thank you, man. And this is just something that I would love for you to look back on one day and be like, damn, I came a long way from this point. How much you've leveled up in the past to where you are now to where you're going. So I appreciate you. This is what it's all about. And hopefully people that are watching this get some substance from this. And then
I hope so too.
On that note, level out, man. We out of here, man. Thank you so much, man.